Hello guys, we're going to start here in just a minute. Just going to share the link here. Alright. I'm doing good. How are you, Eli? Opening matches for the XAW Championship. Felicia defending against Athena. Okay. That's good. Interesting, what shows that? Athena's a former champion from a while back. Let's see if she can reclaim it here. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, that one's a more hidden one. Hey Debo, how you doing? Okay, the reboot, that sounds familiar too.
Fight.
I get you there. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing with kids shows, is that they're not given like back in the day, kid shows weren't really given the same like dignity like regular shows were in terms of like concluding like storylines and season stuff. That kind of stuff wouldn't become more of a norm till more into the late 2000s, into the 2010s. I mean, there were some older shows that were the exception, like the Batman animated series, Gargoyles, that kind of stuff. Oh, this is Eli's promotion. He runs this one here.
Give up?
Yeah, Team MT, I remember that.
Give
Big
up?
stretch there. Ooh, tortured Texas cloverleaf.
Give up. Give up.
Murder knees. Yeah, some shows obviously are the exception for that kind of thing. I guess it just depends on like the people behind the scenes fighting for it and stuff. Ooh, twisting neck breaker. Taking it back, going up top. Oh, very tight moonsault. Yeah, yeah, because it was more murder knees.
Give up.
And a lot of it was just too similar. There was just too many similarities. I mean, of course there were differences, obviously, but it's, you know, it's the big thing back then. Like for every Power Rangers, there's a Beetleborg. There's 5 Beetleborgs or something. You know, there's always like when stuff like that gets popular. There's some ones that come up, and some of them aren't bad. But because there's so much of the same thing at one time, it gets lost in the shuffle. It doesn't get the respect it deserves at the time. Oh, big whip. Oh, interference, Shermie coming down. I'm also going to be streaming again tonight, YWA Blast, to be airing tonight. It's going to be a special one. We got the YWA qualifiers going on, like in the Gamma, and the League Open qualifiers. And then the main event's going to be the first time Madden's going to be defending his Triple Crown Championship, and it's going to be against Muto from the Gamma show. So it's going to be interesting there to see how things end up in that one. Yeah, I think the biker mice, I think they're going to need a much bigger audience to make that happen. Anything's possible, but they're going to need some big momentum in the current generation. Oh wow, Athena taps. Felicia retains. $90. We got some tag action up next here. Felicia and Kyo will be defending the tag championships against Maya and Yuri. I don't either. Oh yeah, I think we had this conversation before, but yeah, I am from Michigan, yeah. It's funny how small the world can be. I know, like, a good majority of the guys that are involved in this stuff, they're in the Chicago, Indiana area, which isn't too far from Michigan. It's right, we're neighbors pretty much. There's a few people from Canada, which, of course, Michigan being on that borderline, we're kind of semi-close with that. So, I almost wonder if YouTube organizes the audience support, like when they support videos when they come out, if they base it on the geographical location of the guy streaming or releasing videos as a jumping off point or something like that. It would make sense. Yeah, I don't remember the last time they hosted a local tournament down there. The pandemic really slowed a lot of stuff down for them. Because before the pandemic, they were just on cylinders for like so much stuff, and once it happened, it kind of derailed a lot of stuff. I mean, after everything kind of ended, I mean, some tournaments around, you know, the country have resumed, of course, but in that specific area with those specific guys, it's kind of it not as much, and a lot of it just has to do with a couple things. One, they don't have the bar anymore, so they don't do stuff through there anymore. And plus, a lot of the guys, you know, their lives started to pick up steam, and they kind of had to prioritize stuff. Interesting. Oh, big moonsault. Mecha Shredder thing, Mecha Shredder. Oh, I missed your thing, Gray man. I didn't realize you were here. Yeah, ownership series passed Disney in 2001 when Disney acquired Fox Kids. Yeah, that makes sense. Technodrome, yeah. Yeah, Ninja Turtles is an interesting franchise. Like, I've always enjoyed the Turtles. I think what's kind of held them back in recent years in terms of, like, just reaching that, like, level of, like, superstar, like, super support. A lot of it, I think, is just based on the fact that they haven't really been able to successfully chain together successful movies. You know, movies that, like are just solid throughout and don't really have hardly any weaknesses. Because the last ones, live action ones, were the Bay films. This is brilliant. Oh, nice maneuver there. Oh, interference here. Yeah. You know what? It's funny. Like for a bit, when I was learning about video games for like routine on the channel, I did that routine on the channel for about a year and a half to 2 years, pretty regularly. And And it kind of got to a point where I started to run out of real, like, games to cover without just doing a bunch of PS4 games all at once. And I lost access to those when I had to get rid of the account because of, like, it was just too much money. And I just don't have the money to just keep buying games to, like, review, and then they just kind of gather dust a little bit. I mean, they don't always. I mean, there's definitely games I play for the channel review for the first time, and I'm just, like, enamored with them to no end. But, I mean, but quite a few, like, I don't, there's been very, very few games. Like, I could probably count on one hand the amount of games I review for the channel that I just despised. But I don't know. It takes there has to be like an X factor in a game for me to just like get super invested in, and not all of them have that. At least not right away. Like times down the line, they probably will. But yeah, that's kind of the biggest reason there. Now, granted, that doesn't mean it won't come back. Of course it will, along with a lot of stuff. It's just, I just been on a pause with a lot of stuff, just because I've been focused on doing this stuff here, which is like, because the biggest reason why I shifted focus to these things is just because it's what people want to see, and I enjoy doing them, and it's unique, and, you know, and whatever. Well, not like super unique. There's a lot of YouTubers and whoever do these kind of things, but it's just one of those things that, because it was, you know, something community based, and recorded stuff isn't always, it isn't always as interactive as you kind of want it to be sometimes. And a lot of that just has to do with the fact that, like, there's a reason why live streaming is more interactive than recording, because, you know, obviously you can talk to, like, people during the live stream, but the other thing with recording, it's kind of pros and cons with live streaming and recording. Oh, look at that combo. Good God. How is she breathing? But the biggest thing with recording is the fact that if anything happens, you could, like, edit out or pause, and you're good. But when you live stream, everything's live. I mean, yeah, you can edit the video like 24 hours after you live stream, but anyone can see it for a while, or even live even. So it's definitely something you kind of have to maintain, like, a mental awareness of, especially if internet can get shaky at times. You have to keep an awareness about it. But with recording, you can just kind of just record. You don't have to think about, like, stuff like internet or whatever, or power. You have that safety net. But at the cost of, you're just pretty much just doing it on your own. And I did a lot of that for years of doing that. And as much as I said in older videos that I remember saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep doing these for, you know, for eons and stuff. But it's like, if you really, and this goes for a lot of YouTubers in general, like, when you look back at the stuff you made and how much time has passed, you realize, oh wow, I'm kind of like, I've been doing this for a while. And you kind of get to a point where you're like, I kind of feel like doing something different. And that's kind of the biggest thing there. Oh, he just stole a maneuver. And plus, I'm just a lot busier now. And if I had to pick time for anything, I'd rather have it be for stuff like this as opposed to standard recording, because I've already done them forever. Oh, counter upon counters. And I don't really, outside of like season or series reviews, there's not really a whole lot I have to review that, unless I go super experimental and start doing all this crazy stuff, which is a can of worms I don't feel like opening up, just because I just don't have the tenacity to keep it up long term when I already have everything else. And that's also why I don't really do vlogs regularly anymore. They're not gonna be done though. I got movie theater reviews I have to catch up on. I've seen like 4 movies that I haven't done reviews on yet, which is driving me crazy, but it's weird. It's weird doing vlogs like that. I almost want to live stream them, but I'm so used to like, but I do so much live streaming. It's just I feel like I burn myself out if I do some vlog stuff. Plus, those vlogs themselves wouldn't be that long. Oh, the Rachi Breaker was stolen. That's just one of those things. It's been a very competitive match. Roll up. But yeah, there's a lot of games I wouldn't mind getting and playing and reviewing, but it's a... Oh! Felicia wins with another freaking chin lock. Good God, that's 2 consecutive matches where Felicia won with a chin lock. Wrestling Bios would be proud. More retentions here. Alright, Rumi versus Mr. Karate in a cage is next. Kyo. You know, I actually like Kyo a lot. Like, he's had some really stellar matches over the course of TWN, you know? You got change. Oh my God. Oh. Let's see, where is... Yeah, I always forget where it's at. I wish there was a way to organize these, like, rings, because there's not... You can't really, like, change, like, the order of the rings, technically. I mean, there's a roundabout way, but it's too much work. I kind of wished... So, sometimes it gets a little tricky to navigate. Chang? Oh, Chang. Yeah, you know what? I don't... It's funny, when I first started doing this, I would just download guys blindly, but ever since I started doing, like, YWA and TWN, especially TWN, when I started converting guys, I kind of got to a point where I didn't really download guys as much unless it was requested, just because... because when the Fire Pro show first started, it was kind of done for the Legends League like thing, and that was a weird that kind of went back and forth on that, and mixed in with some odd stuff ripped down. Oh yeah, definitely. Where did your guy go here? Yeah, definitely RIP. Yeah, that's crazy to me. But you know, he was... I forgot how old he was. I think he was either late 70s or early 80s. But yeah, he was definitely... You know what? I'll give him a lot of credit. Like, there's a lot of wrestling stars in the 80s that faded a lot, but he managed to just keep his persona up all this time. That he deserves a lot of credit for that. It'd have been, man, if he had that kind of thing and he was still in wrestling shape today, that'd be a pretty big combo there. Changing the... Yeah, no machine back then. Yeah. Yeah, he was funny, but yeah, I mean, those fighting games, when you explore those characters, you'll be surprised. It's always surprising to find which characters like just like are that, because there's sometimes you see a character and you're like, oh yeah, that character's gonna be so dominant, and they're not, and then the character you least expect is like dominant. Well, let's see how it goes. Rooney versus Mr. Karate. Yeah, that's the thing with fighting games. You really gotta, you definitely have to have a zest for them, because it's so weird. When I first got this game at the time was pretty notorious for being difficult, having a difficult learning curve. But when I first got it, and I did the training thing, and I got stuck a couple times, but I got through it eventually. I did get to a point where it was like, okay, I get this now, you know? Sometimes games just click better than others for certain people. Like for example, like regular fighting games are always kind of iffy with me, but for some people, they just know how to make it work. Or other people where they could do a story mode or play a full game for hours for any game, like, and for me it's like the reverse. Like, it's so, there's like the games like Fire Pro Wrestling or like Matt or sports games or stuff, that's kind of more my speed. I like games where I can kind of create and kind of like fabricate and just kind of use my imagination a little bit.
Give up.
Yeah, I don't know if he cleaned up in his later years. I assume probably, because if he didn't, I don't think he would be very cognizant if he didn't, but yeah, some games like I love Street Fighter, but the combo system in those games is ridiculous. If it was up to me, all fighting games would have the No Mercy combo system. Or SmackDown combo system. Literally, like, minimal, like, 2-button usages.
Give up. Give up.
Rocker Dropper.
1 minute, 2. Cheer. Break. One, two. Cheer. Yeah.
Oh, roll up.
1, 2.
Only 2.
Cheer. Cheer.
I kinda do, but it might have been a little bit before I fully got into wrestling. I didn't really get fully 100% into wrestling till I was like, whenever the time I reviewed WWF Warzone on PlayStation for the very first time. That, and when I did reviewed Fire Pro Returns and Fire Pro World for the first time, that was kind of the time period where I started to get into wrestling, which was, I think, 2 to 3 years ago. I mean, at this point, I pretty much know as much as any wrestling fan does, but back then, it was just a wide world for me. Ooh, Code Red.
1, 2.
Oh, 7, oh yeah, you would have been more earlier than me.
10 minutes gone.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the most earliest I ever seen a wrestling thing was a segment, I think on Raw, where Sergeant Slaughter came down and did a promo or something. I think it was during the Ruthless Aggression era. So, but I don't know the context or anything. I just remember the images and that's it. I mean, I was aware of it, like guys like Hogan and Savage. I mean, my first introduction to technically, if I have to be really, really nitpicky, I think my first introduction to wrestling would have been the first Spider-Man movie with Randy Savage as Bonesaw McGraw. That would have been like that would have been like the most generalistic thing right there. 95 there, jeez. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough to because the problem with... I'm loud. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Stone Cold retired. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I understand why some people did, because they changed the name around the time they kind of stopped the Attitude Era, so I think for a lot of wrestling fans, they kind of used it as a way to be like, okay, I think I'm good. Because people get dedicated to become obsessed, but over time, people are like, they grow up and they're kind of looking for a way to kind of justify, okay. Okay, we're still good. Yeah, spring 2002. Yeah, that was kind of that was when the Ruthless Aggression era started. Roughly was in middle of '02. So yeah, roughly. Wrestling eras are weird. They don't always separate really well with a lot of things. Like there's periods where stuff is kind of mixed in a little bit. So there's definitely transitional eras between major eras for wrestling for sure. Next match is Shingo versus X-Pac. And some exhibition action. Early John Cena. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Looking good. Alright. I'll get this going. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be back in just a minute.
Yo, you dealing with the X Factor. Fight! Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Okay, but the dark match, kind of. What's your guys' take on wrestling? You know what? I'm okay with it. in all honesty, just because I'd rather have 2-3 hour sections as opposed to like one 4 to 6 hour section. Well, but overall, I think wrestling events are too long nowadays. In all honesty, I think it's too much. I think it's overkill. But if I had to pick between one 6 to 8 hour show, or 4 to 6 hour show, or 2-3 hours shows in one weekend, I'd rather have 2-3 hour shows in a weekend. It's just easier viewing, and it's easier to keep up with in a practical stance. But personally, I just if I had a third option, I just cut down on the time overall for all wrestling events.
Give up. Give up.
Yeah, it depends on the person and the tenacity for it. Like, I guess it depends, because a WWE pay-per-view, the pacing of it doesn't suit everybody, but it depends, because the shows are very promo heavy, and the pay-per-views typically are filled with matches, so it's a little different pace. Yeah, I think if I had to pick between how I would do it is, I think shows. I don't mind shows being a little promo heavy because it is the time to develop stories, but there's times where I'm just like, can we like put some quality matches on TV? Because here's the thing, like I get you don't want to like, for lack of term, blow your load early, but I mean, you're on but you gotta give people a reason to watch the show. If you're constantly just giving them like your Z-grade shit because you want to save the big shit for pay-per-view, then no one's gonna want to watch the shows. Like, you gotta give them a bone sometimes to justify that anything can happen. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say with other sports because, you know, they're not choreographed like wrestling is. Flare flop. But personally, when it comes to sporting events, I don't think anything should be longer than 3 to 4 hours overall. Wrestling, I prefer to be shorter because I think wrestling's in the natural pace of wrestling benefits better with shorter run times.
Give up.
Oh, X-Pac tapped up. X-Pac couldn't handle the punches. 67. Next, we got a landmine death match. Yeah, that's a thing too. Like, to be honest, my favorite commentators have always been the wrestling commentators because they're allowed to have a character and personality a little bit. There's too many sports commentators that are so like vanilla, and I don't know. I like commentators that don't necessarily make it about them, but have a level of investment and care into what they're watching and in like good like sense of, you know, vocabulary and stuff, because there's too many announcers that are just so generic and safe, and it's just like funny, especially when you have the color commentator that's allowed to be a color commentator and not just a slightly more lively version of the regular announcer. You know, somebody that actually like talks shit and just like has like big opinions, and the neutral guy just kind of has to like kind of go against it sometimes. You see, handling the yeah, that's right, Eli. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, yeah. They were trying to sneak stuff past ya. Trying to mess with people. Alright, this one is gonna be Ash Crimson against Blue Mary here. Moments. There it is. Alright, set in stone. Let's see how it goes here.
Fight! Yeah. Give up.
That's what Gray Man said.
Yeah. Yeah. Break.
Minutes gone.
One, two.
Yeah, I mean, they probably wanted to see if there's anything there and stuff for it.
Yeah. One, two. One, two. Yeah. Yeah.
Big maneuvers there, they're all bloody and stuff.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Crimson takes advantage, gets the win. Porsche Unleashed for PC. PC's tough. I could probably at this point I could maybe sneak in depending on if there's stuff set up where I could play a game like that with computers, because computers are so finicky with stuff, but nowadays with tech, you know, you never know what you can get away with. So it's something I'll have to check on whenever I get a free moment. All right, main event: Kyo versus Rio. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I tried experimenting with OBS in the past when I recorded review. I tried doing it as a recording style with Age of Empires, and it didn't work. I followed the tutorial to the T, and it didn't work. I did record it on a camera as a backup, and I ended up using that footage for it. But I haven't really touched it since. I have tech to record through OBS and stuff, but I'm missing a couple parts for it to fully work, and that's kind of in the works right now. That's why when I do the RCW stuff, I record it the way I do, is because that's legit the best thing I can do for streaming like stuff that isn't PS4 at least. That's why I also don't want to overdo it with that format either, because there's stuff that I want to do on the, let's say, better format technically, and I don't want to like do all of it on there, and unless a lot of people say they just don't care and they just rather see it live, despite the fact, which so far majority of it seems to be that. Alright, let's see how it goes here.
Fight! Huh! What? Oof!
Like, it depends on if he qualifies. We'll have to see. I have some established stuff for that kind of thing, and we'll just have to see if who gets enough votes for stuff after they get after the qualifications.
What? Give up? Give up? Break.
Oh yeah, Vader and Road Warriors for sure are. That's no Styles as well. Those three pretty much would qualify. It's just if they get enough votes is going to be the question. Because there's not going to be like only one. It's really just like if they get the majority votes to like pass through. You'd be surprised. Like for my promotion, I typically don't chase IGW belts as much as the other ones because I low-key try to like kind of I don't want to like chase it too much in terms because I'm running everything. It'd be a little weird to like run the show and then just kind of keep like trying to get the stuff I made. I mean, at least from that kind of perspective. And also I like to make sure everyone else kind of goes before my promotion just because I want everyone else good. Yeah, I mean, although in all honesty, given my current promotion's position this season, I might have to start being maybe a tiny bit more aggressive. A tiny bit more. Although I am kind of low-key thinking I might need a little bit of a roster revamp because I think the guys I have aren't collaborating as well as I thought they would. Discount all the time. Yeah, I think the trick with it more than anything is just, I think the trick with it is, I think what will make it a lot easier, I think we just need like one or two more promotions. Because I feel like we're kind of at a point where the size for a lot of our rosters is where we're kind of comfortable of it being at. It's just we just get our eyes become wider, bigger than our stomach, and we pick up all these guys and we just kind of do stuff. But then we got other guys who gather dust, and then they kind of disappear for a bit inadvertently. Larachi Breaker. But yeah, like, cause that's the thing, like, the biggest thing with those TWN titles is that you only really, like, earn shit if you have them actively, like, going. Like, you don't, like, earn stuff by sitting on them. But it's tough, though. That's why I have the rivalry system the way it is, because it's a good framework to work, to, like, help book and get like connections and stories going, and you also earn more credits with it as well. That does sound cursed. Oh, big win for Kyo here. '87 wins with fire. Alright, let's do those calculations here and see how Eli did tonight. Fairly off. Yes, Fairly Odd Parents. I remember that show I grew up with. Alright, Eli, you got an 84 on this one here. Alright, and that concludes week 4 of 6. So we'll be kickstarting week 5. I want to say maybe tomorrow. Depends on how the day is paced. No, it's not, but this was a very big week for a lot. A lot of promotions got high numbers, so it was a very competitive week. But week 5, I'm going to say starting week 5 tomorrow, probably a one-stream day tomorrow. I do plan on streaming again tonight. It's going to be YWA Blast, so keep an eye out for that. I'm probably not going to wait too long to do the second stream, not by a lot, so definitely keep an eye out for that stuff. But outside of that, that's going to do it for this specific stream here. Thanks for watching, guys. In case you guys wanted to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, you didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab in our channel as well. You can access that anywhere, anytime. We also have a Patreon page as well. Main goal of the page is to raise money for the channel, to give the channel a bigger budget, to do more ambitious things, and also start making merchandise for the channel as well. And the merchandise itself will be geared toward aspects of the channel that you guys enjoy, so any support we get for that is much appreciated. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.